Hello everybody, it's Adventago here. Now, if you're interested in financial literacy tips, entrepreneur motivation, or internet marketing tips, then you've come to the right place. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with other people. Today, we're going to be going over, yes, it's possible. What is possible? How to make $100 per day with cryptocurrency, the passive income way. Let's get into it. Let's get started. What's up, my personal friends? It's Adventago, back at it again with that super hot content. I haven't given this topic much attention, so I think I'm doing it a bit of a disservice. In this video, I'm going to be going over passive income, but not as you normally know. This is going to be a different kind of video. Most of us already know how to make passive income with stocks, dividends, REITs, creating a business, but a few people realise that they can make passive income with cryptocurrency itself. And even fewer people realise just how much money they can actually make with this. Well then, let's go over a few of the ways that you can begin earning passive income with cryptocurrency as a complete beginner. We all know that the cryptocurrency space has a bunch of sketchy people. I have no reason to give you terrible crypto advice since it robs me of my credibility and the whole community. I get no financial kickback from any of these companies I'm offering to you. Please do your own research. This is not financial advice. So, without any more delay, here is everything that I have learned along the way that's helped me. All I ask in return is if you like this video and want to see more, then please click the link in the description down below to follow me on all my social medias. Thank you. The first and most straightforward way of making passive income with cryptocurrency is through what's called, number one, an interest-bearing account. This is likely the quickest way anyone can get started. Just like you can go to the bank, deposit your money and get a very low interest rate, you can deposit your cryptocurrency throughout several exchanges, earn a preset return depending on the amount you hold, and believe it or not, the return is very good. Here are a few examples. BlockFi pays 4.5% on Bitcoin, 5% on Ethereum, and 9% on USDC. Celsius Network pays a little bit more, up to 8% on Bitcoin, 7% on Ethereum, and nearly 11% on USDC. Voyager pays the same interest rate regardless of how much money you hold on the platform. For myself, my thought is that if I'm paying to hold on to the underlying cryptocurrency anyway, I may as well earn some interest in the process, otherwise I am leaving money on the table. For what probably amounts to just a few minutes of work anyway. It would be kind of like choosing to keep your money in cash in tin cans and burying it in your grandma's backyard instead of moving it over to a bank and getting paid an interest rate. The concept is the same, but the money you make is drastically different. Usually at this point, the go-to question is, how are they able to pay such high interest rates when banks are able to pay literally nothing? Good question. And here's how. When you deposit money in one of these platforms, they're going to take that money and then loan it to retail and institutional investors at a higher interest rate than they pay you. It's no different than me saying, give me your money, I'll pay you a 5% interest rate, and then I can lend that money to somebody else at 8% while I profit the difference. As for why stable coins pay significantly more than the rest, it's because there's a universal demand for a stable coin that's pegged 1-to-1 to US dollar. They're a lot less volatile, and in a way, they could be riskier. For example, most exchanges pay a little bit more if you stake Tether. Likely that's because it's not audited and guaranteed to be backed by any real currency, and there's a chance it's all fake money being printed out of thin air. There's also the risk that with stablecoins, they're not as strictly regulated or backed by FDIC insurance, and there's very little transparency about the inner workings of each token, so in the event something happens, there's a chance you could lose all your money. Yikes. There's also a chance that the entire cryptocurrency market could collapse, or you become too reliant on an exchange that could halt transactions and withdrawals with no advance notice whatsoever, and then you're stuck until you reach customer service pleading that they reply to your email. This is a risk you're going to have to accept if you want to get into this, so I would recommend you invest an amount you are okay with losing. But with risk comes reward, and when you see these places offering you 2 to 14% annually, just for moving your money onto the platform and then doing absolutely nothing, it's going to work quite well as long as nothing goes wrong. Most platforms are relatively safe, but nothing is risk-free, and that's a factor you must remember, even though it could be a great way to earn passive income through cryptocurrency that you are planning to hold anyway. The second option for earning passive income with cryptocurrency is what's known as number 2, staking. It's important to mention that with cryptocurrency, since there's no central authority overseeing all the activity, these transactions are processed in 2 ways. One is proof of work, and the second is proof of stake. Proof of work relies on computing powers to solve complex algorithmic problems that reward users with cryptocurrency. These are typically the intense mining rigs you see set up in large warehouses or in people's basements. People could make a lot of money doing this, depending on the price increases, the cost of energy, and the country they live in. Although the problem with proof of work is that it's energy intensive. It could take a lot of money to start up, and as algorithms get more and more difficult to solve, it could take longer and longer to get paid. This takes us to the second passive income solution, and that would be proof of stake. Like I said, since there's no central authority overseeing every transaction, there needs to be checks and balances in place to make sure everything is working as it should. As a way for no one person to have central authority over the entire system, users can stake their cryptocurrency and receive rewards without having to do the computing power to mine the cryptocurrency itself. By doing this, transactions are validated by users who deposit their cryptocurrency on the network, and in a way, the amount you stake translates into the number of votes you have on the blockchain. When the majority of those votes all move in the same direction, the transaction is confirmed, and those who stake their coins get a reward. In this case, the more money you stake, the higher the chances of validating the next transaction, and the higher chances you get paid. You can also join what's called a staking pool, which combines forces and then shares the collective reward by placing more money within the network. In the simplest form, imagine staking as though you're putting money in a CD for 1 to 24 months, and in return, you get a slightly higher yield. The easiest way for most beginners to get started is by signing up for a reputable exchange like FTX, Coinbase, or Binance. Compare the differences between the interest rates, lockup period, and the amount you want to invest, and then follow their instructions. If you want to take this a step further, you can also become what's called a validator, which is where you stake your coins directly to the blockchain. However, doing this usually requires much more money to be invested, and you must run your internet 24/7. So for beginners, it's usually a little bit more advanced, but the payouts are higher. The downside is that there are risks, namely that you'll tie your money in the blockchain for quite a while, during which the market could fall and you're unable to sell. Overall, it could be a great way to earn passive income with cryptocurrency that you were planning to hold for the long term anyway, as long as you don't need to sell anytime soon. After that, we have a third way of making passive income, and that would be number 3, lending. On this business model, you would lend your cryptocurrency to someone else who pays you back with interest over a set period of time. But unlike other loans that are unsecured and the borrower risks nothing in the event they don't pay it back, besides ruining their credit score, cryptocurrency lending is sometimes backed by the borrower's cryptocurrency. So in the event they fail or fall behind their payments, you can get some or all of your money back. It would be no different than me wanting to borrow a few $1,000s from you, but as a clause in the agreement, to do that, I need to lock a few $1,000s away of my own Bitcoin, just in case things go wrong and you need to get your money back. Even better, because these loans are built around smart contracts, the blockchain takes care of all the terms for you, so the process is entirely automated and you never have to worry about trying to track someone down for your payment. AAVE is a very popular platform that matches borrowers and lenders together in one place and then pays users back in interest with the AAVE cryptocurrency. As a borrower, you'll be able to take out a loan that is equivalent to the amount of money that you hold on the platform. For example, if I have $100 worth of Bitcoin, you would be able to borrow a maximum of $82.50. If your $100 worth of Bitcoin drops below the value of $85, that position will automatically be sold to pay back the lender and reduce the risk of a default. But as an investor, you'll be able to issue a collateralized loan, paying an interest rate that constantly fluctuates by supply and demand. In this case, the more supply there is, and the more people want to lend out their cryptocurrency, the lower the interest rate you'll get paid. Or the less supply there is, and the more money people want to borrow cryptocurrency, the higher the interest rate you will get paid. The risk, however, is that borrowing and leverage only works so well until it doesn't. And in the event of the market crash, things can go bad quickly. Also, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing stopping somebody from doing what's called the infinite leverage loop. When they deposit $1,000 of Bitcoin, bought at $800 worth of Ethereum, convert that into Bitcoin, put that back on the platform, then borrow another $640 of Ethereum, and then repeat this process a dozen times until eventually have $5,000 worth of the purchasing power with a deposit of only $1,000. I'm not saying someone will go through all the hassle of doing this, but it is something that can happen. Although I think the cryptocurrency leverage is going to be an issue at some point, especially if the market sees a large sell-off that sparks all these leverage positions to be sold off, and that causes the price to drop even further. You can do the fourth thing, which is called number 4, liquidity. At any given point, there's an unusual amount of buyers and sellers out there willing to exchange or trade their cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency, or sometimes sell it for cash. But the issue is that there's not always a ready and willing buyer at the precise time that you want, or even worse, this gets significantly more difficult if you want to exchange one coin for another. As a solution, a liquidity pool is used. This allows investors to buy, sell, or exchange different pairings of cryptocurrencies at any day, any time, at any moment's notice, no matter what the price is, without having to wait for a buyer or a seller to appear. For example, you could provide liquidity for depositing $400 worth of Bitcoin and $300 worth of Ripple into one platform, allowing other investors to easily exchange their cryptocurrency between pairings and paying a small fee to do so. That sounds cool, Adventago, but where does the fee go? Good question. Since you were the one who provided liquidity between the pairings, that fee goes to you constantly, depending on how many people use it. With Uniswap protocol, they'll charge you 0.3% fee on each trade, which is proportionately distributed among liquidity holders and can add up significantly high in returns. However, the downside is that by becoming a liquidity provider, there is the risk of what's called an impermanent loss. This is where you would have less money by investing in a liquidity pool than you would have made by simply holding on to the cryptocurrency to begin with. For example, let's say you invested in Cardano and Ripple into a liquidity pool, but during that same time the price of Ripple tripled. Your money would have been worth a lot more if you had held onto it normally. The same could also be said if the value of either cryptocurrency falls in relation to the other, thereby costing you money. As usual, there's no completely risk-free way of making passive income, but through websites like Uniswap protocol, you can get liquidity fees passively, but the more that you do this, the less money you'll end up making. And there is a chance you could lose money, but the reward might be worth it. Number 5, NFTs. People are making passive income through NFTs. For example, RENFT offers a protocol where NFT owners can lend their NFTs to someone else for a set period of time and price, with the assurance that after that time frame is up, the person gets their asset back. But Adventago, why would anyone do this? Simple. People like to show off the cool things they have to other people. Also, people rent out gaming NFTs to different players as a way to level up their character. There's also the chance to earn NFT royalties anytime it changes hands in the secondary market. For example, if you make some digital artwork, the original creator might receive 5% of the sale price every time their artwork is resold. The process is entirely automated, and if you're in the business of minting NFTs, it could be quite profitable. However, just like anything, the bigger the reward, the bigger the risk, and arguably NFTs are much more difficult to liquidate in the event you need the money quickly, or in the event the market drops. Overall, I think these strategies are worth exploring, but for most people, simply staking or holding your coins in an interest-bearing account would be the easiest approach, while maximizing the amount of work and minimizing the risk involved. Of course, nothing is risk-free, and there's always a chance you could lose money. Although to lessen those odds, it's always a good idea to use multiple exchanges, spread your money throughout as many different places as possible, and insulate yourself from the chance that something happens to one of them. But as a way to earn a little bit more money without being actively involved, all of these are definitely worth looking at. If you're interested in becoming the change you want to see in the world, love what you do, become seen and trusted in your niche, have the income to do what you love, and the power to say no to whatever you don't like, then click the link in the description now and look at my links I have. You can follow me on all the social medias possible. Thank you for watching. This has been Adventago. Bye for now.